I'm lost.
You're live.
I'm lost. I got lost then. What's happening, everyone? Nick Yorkie's West Ham Fan TV. Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. The only West Ham United post-match for a joke on the internet. We've just come back from Carrow Road virtually. It was Norwich 0, West Ham 4. Scott, take us through the starting lineup, please.
Fabianski in goal, the same back four: Fredericks, Creswell, Diop, Ogbonna. Noble coming into the midfield alongside Rice and Souček. Fornals on the right, on the left, sorry, Bowen on the right, and Antonio up top.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't tweet out before the game because I didn't want to get a little bit of backlash, but I think bringing Mark Noble in today was the right decision. And I'm not just saying that because we won 4-0. Even before the game, I thought to myself, I've watched Norwich play the last few games, and I knew that we was going to get so much room in that midfield, and Noble was just going to drop off and receive the ball and look for that pass over the top for Antonio. And it proved throughout the game that that's what happened. But I know there was a lot of people on Twitter saying, oh, Moyes is going too defensive and we're playing Norwich. We're going too defensive. We should be going for it with Yarmolenko and that. But I just thought bringing Noble in today was the right decision from David Moyes.
Yeah, I was
exactly the opposite. I was one of them people saying it's the wrong decision because I just think, I know he's going to get a lot of midfield in that, but I think there's better attacking players than Nobes.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. And I must admit, I was thinking the same thing. But I just thought for today's game, I thought when I see Noble in the starting lineup, I thought I didn't want to tweet anything out because you know what people are like on Twitter. They jump on you and I can't sit there and be bothered arguing with people all afternoon. I just thought to myself, Noble's that sort of player that he'll get that ball and the first thing he'd do is try to look over the top for the runs of Fornals and Antonio and Bowen, and that's what he done. And I think it was a right decision to bring him in today.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked to see him starting, to be honest. I thought he may have gone for Wilshere over Noble for this one because the amount of room that he would have found, probably more fitness levels of why he didn't. But it was a good call. It was a tough call, but he made the right decision. And, you know, it's good to see. It's good to see Noble back in there. What's he, 1 away now from 500?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good that he's going to get that. It's a good stat. There's not going to be many other players around that are going to pick that up.
Do you think he might have surprise retirement at the end of the year?
I don't think this season. I think next season. I think it's already been rumoured that next season will be his last season. I think Noble has got one more season in him as a squad player. I think next year that we've obviously got to sort of look to replace Mark Noble. I think the perfect replacement for Mark Noble is obviously sort of Declan Rice, to allow Declan Rice to play that role, for us to sign someone else to come in and be more creative in midfield. But yeah, I think David Moyes. I think Mark Noble's definitely got one more season in him as a squad player. He's not going to be in the team week in, week out.
No, I think you're right there, mate. I think it is a case of he'll be there, come in when called upon type thing. You know, you can't, if Souček stays and Rice stays, he's not going to get in front of those two. And then it's just, if we, depending what system we play, obviously if we continue the way we are playing the sort of style that we're playing, you know, you're going to want a more attacking midfielder in there. And Noble will be a good squad player to have around the club.
I think Souček is a must, mate. I think he settled into West Ham so the way he's just taken to the Premier League, you know, he suits the Premier League, and you can see him and Rice are getting a little partnership in midfield. And it's important that we sign him on because we've got the option to sign him and we've got first choice.
If we stay up, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I think he's like £13 million or something like that. So they've got to get that done.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've just got to see the facts, what he brings. He's in the box like a second striker.
Well, you see at the beginning of the game, mate, when Antonio had that scuff shot and Souček was at the front post to take it round the goalkeeper, but it hit the side netting. But all game, he's in that box. And I see a stat go up the other day that Souček's had more shots on target since we come back than what Tottenham have.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Mental.
He's a great player, and he's, as we said a little while ago on post-match, I think it was last week's post-match, right? Souček is the sort of player we've been missing since we lost Kouyaté. You know, we've missed that box-to-box player and a presence in the box, in the 18-yard box.
Yeah. I think with Souček, he's got more of a presence in a tackle as well than Čech had. Czech was quicker.
I'm very surprised that we've got this long. We got to January without having that sort of midfielder, because our midfield is just so similar.
Yeah, that's something we should have addressed in the summer, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should have addressed this 3 summers ago, right? When we let, or 2 summers when we let Czech go. You know, it's absolutely. We've said this over and over and over again. You know, they just don't know how to replace like for like. They only know how to replace like for like. They only sign the same sort of players and all that sort of thing. And you know, we've been screaming out since fucking they was trying to sign Carvalho and things like that. We've been screaming out for a player of that sort of ilk and that sort of box to box midfielder. We haven't had it for so many seasons. Like Czech was probably the last one we had in the first couple of seasons. He was with us. Obiang was never that player. He was very similar to Rice and Noble.
Obiang was more like a ball player midfielder when he liked to put the ball down and play it around.
How we've gone this long without identifying? Or no, that's wrong, because we have sort of identified. That's why we was trying to sign Carvalho. But how we've gone this long without signing someone baffles me. How we ain't even fucking lower in the league.
I'll tell you what, though, one thing I am glad of, that I'm glad there is a deal in place, because I reckon there's a lot of Premier League teams outside that top 6 probably looking at Souček and thinking, yeah, he definitely had to our squad. So as long as we stay up, which I think, barring a disaster now, I think we are sort of looking at Premier League survival, because it was 3 points a day, but it felt like 4 with a goal difference as well. I think Bournemouth and Villa both play tomorrow. So depending on results tomorrow, if them 2 don't win, I think that'll see us in the Premier League. But next Friday is going to be good, because it's like a Premier League Cup final against us and Watford, isn't it? Whoever wins that is guaranteed. Yeah. You know? So it'd be nice to hopefully results go our way tomorrow. But I think that's safe to say now we are going to be a Premier League team next season. So we need to. Souček's probably already a done deal, if I'm honest.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, when you look at him and you see his Instagram, it seems his family settling in nicely over here as well, which is a big bonus. And like I said, there will be other clubs sniffing around, but the deal's in place. So let's just get it done, get him signed.
I'll tell you what, I know we're gonna sort of sit here and praise West Ham a lot today, and rightly so. It was a great performance, but how poor were Norwich today? I mean,
I sat there watching them. You know, that's a team. Look, it was inevitable that they was going to go down. It was inevitable.
But if you're a Norwich fan, you spoke to Chris Reeve earlier in the day, and if you're sitting there watching that, and you're looking at that commitment from them players in that game, in a game that they had to win, you know, for me they looked defeated. And I'll tell you what, for me, when there was 1-0 down and we had the first drinks break, their manager didn't even get up and talk to him. No. He sat in his seat, and for me, he's defeated already.
Yeah,
you know, you're down.
Yeah, the problem is they've been told they're not getting, they're not going to splash the cash to try and stay in the league. They've looked at it that they were lucky to get promoted.
He was talking about, like, bear in mind that they haven't really spent any money when they got into the Premier League. I think they signed fucking Byron from us from about 600 grand or something like that. I think they spent about 3 million quid all in all.
And that's not going to keep you in the Premier League.
They must have got a massive cash injection from getting into the Premier League. And they were saying, like, we're lucky we sold Maddison because, it's kept us afloat and all of that sort of thing. Like, it's not my place to say, because I'm not a Norwich fan. I like Norwich. They're a good old side and whatever. But I'll be honest with you, like 100%. If I was a Norwich fan, I wouldn't be worried, because I think they'll keep a core of their team and they might come back up again. They might be trying to do this sort of West Brom method where they bounce back and come back and forth and back and forth so they can build up a bit of cash before they actually try and stay in the league. But at times of that, and we're not brilliant, but it was like they was nowhere near us. It was like a Premier League team playing a Sunday League team. Yeah,
it was controlled. The whole game was controlled. I said last night, when I watched Norwich against Watford, they're so susceptible of set pieces. And, that showed again today, the amount of chances that we created from set pieces. It's good to see that we're now picking holes in the opposition and then going, trying to attack them that way. It's good to see that. And let's be honest, I think if some of the deliveries were a little bit better, I'm not going to criticise some of the delivery, but we could have easily had 6 or 7 today.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first goal. I mean, Bowen's corner, flick on from Diop. I think Glenn Hoddle said it in commentary. You don't see that often these days, that defender making the run to the front post to flick it on. But it was a great finish. And that's one thing about Antonio. I think when it's dropped to his feet and his instinct got to do something, he scores. When he's got to think about things, like the other night against Burnley, through 1-on-1, hit the post. Even today for the goal, his hat-trick goal, where he's 1-on-1 with the keeper and he's hit it straight to the keeper, and he's a bit of luck. He's done well to get it in. But as you said, I mean, Bowen, some of his deliveries since he's been here, you could call him the postman, couldn't you? Because he always delivers. Honestly, he's been such a great signing. And what I like about him, he's young, he's English, he works his bollocks off for West Ham. Not only up top, but at the back. How many times today did you see him, even at 3-0 up, he's still running back to win that ball? And that's what I like about him. And what I'm starting to notice now, he's starting to get that little bit of frustration in his game because he wants to score. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing for a player like Bowen, because he will try now. I think these last 3 games, you'll see him now having more strikes at goal, trying to look to get himself a couple of goals before the end of the season to give him confidence going into next season.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we want to see from him.
All right, chat. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry.
You in heaven?
Got a couple of bits to do.
He's back in heaven again, isn't he?
them sausages won't get their self.
What have I missed? What have I missed? I heard Ryan there talking about Bowen.
We done a conga around Nicky's garden virtually.
No, the thing is as well, take out the Tottenham game and what's the other game? Wolves game. We've created so many chances, We've created so many chances. We scored 3 against
Chelsea,
4 today, 2 against Newcastle. Probably could have had 2 more in that game. We created so many chances. It was only Pope that kept us out. Antonio scored 6 goals since the restart. We actually look like we're in some decent form. If we'd have beaten Burnley on Wednesday, we could have even gone on to have a really strong end to the season. And
even if we'd have held on at Newcastle last week, I was thinking exactly the same. I was thinking it was unlucky on Wednesday, lack of finishing. But if we'd have held on at Newcastle, we could have maybe pushed to move up, to finish in 13th or 12th or something like that.
We always knew that after the first 2 games that the first 3 games, because obviously we beat Chelsea, but we always knew it was going to be a favourable run of games in our favour. But we've hit some good form. We could beat Watford next week quite easily. Man United, I'm not expecting anything at Man United, especially if we're safe. But we've been there before when they've been the champions. If we need points, we've got points from there. So you never know. We're creating a lot of chances. It looks like we're quite confident at the minute, which is fucking baffling, because the first 2 games it was like watching a different fucking side altogether.
I'm just looking at the stats from the game, and we had 19 shots today. As you said, the other night we had, I think, 20. So we have had a lot of shots. I'm just looking at the possession stats. I can't believe Norwich actually had more of the ball than us. They had 52%, we had 48.
That must be the goalkeeper picking it.
At one point, they put the stat up about possession. It was the first half, about middle of the first half, and that's like 78% of the ball.
Yeah, that's crazy, because in the second half, I think there was about a 5-7 minute spell where they couldn't even get the ball. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It shows that we are creating chances, and bearing in mind, Antonio's not a natural striker, so we've been playing these games without a natural striker up top. But look, I mean,
yeah, that little fucking groin strain that he was meant to have fucking missed. He's missed 6 games.
Yeah, Antonio's a beast. And that's the thing. Do you know the thing is with Haller, though? I know he missed all them games. I think it seemed a lot longer because of obviously it was only out for 2 weeks. You know,
it's because they cram the games in so quickly.
Yeah, because there's been 6 games in them 2 weeks. It seems like he's been out for a long time. But if it was just like a normal season, 2 weeks wouldn't feel that long. So, but yeah, I mean, Antonio today. I mean, I'm pleased for him. I'm really pleased for him because he's worked his socks off since we've come back. You know, and you know, I think he's our first ever player to score 4 goals in the Premier League. You know, he's got a hat trick today. Last person to do that was Andy Carroll in the last season at Bowling.
Yeah, against Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, even the second goal, you know, assist from Noble, great header, you know, and that was just important just before half time. And me and Scott were saying on the group chat at half time, if we don't concede in the first 15 minutes of this second half, then we'll see out the game and it'll be a comfortable victory. And it proved to be, it was right. It's because you've been so many times you see West Ham winning and then we concede and then it go our way. But I think Fabianski had 1-2 shots maybe that he saved today and they weren't even fucking those P rollers to him, you know. Fabianski could have gone up the shop for 10 minutes and got himself down to eat and drink and come back and he still wouldn't have conceded today.
Yeah, I mean, he had the one, was it the start of the second half? It was nice sight for him, he just pushed it away.
Yeah.
But I don't, other than that, in the, I can't remember, it wasn't a nice bad bit of P roller in the first half. For a team that are supposedly fighting for their Premier League survival, I thought Norwich were really, really poor today. They didn't press us once, like when we had the ball.
The thing for me that I like to see today is we had to go there and dispatch them, and we did. Many a time we've like the result against Chelsea, we end up getting that result and then go somewhere like Norwich and get turned over. Today, I thought that it was a very professional performance. We had a game plan, we stuck to it. You know, it helped that Norwich are that bad. But let's not forget, you know, they've beaten City at Carrow before. I know not having a crowd probably affects them, and that was earlier in the season. But you know, there is always that chance that we get overconfident and throw it away. And today we didn't do that. You know, there weren't many individual errors. You know, a couple of misplaced passes, a couple of like things that could have been better. But overall, the performance was spot on. And
I think we need to give a bit of praise as well to the fullbacks today, Creswell and Fredericks, because they've been under a bit of criticism lately, and rightly so. But I thought both of them today worked their socks off up and down that wing, and some of the balls they put in, especially Creswell on the left, he put in a few good balls today. So
Fredericks got the assist as well, didn't he? For the
the strength he showed there as well. He just sort of nudged off the defender, didn't he?
Yeah,
like he weren't there. And then a very composed ball into the middle for Antonio.
It was good to see. It was good to see today. It's so nice to get towards the end of the season and we're actually smiling and talking about scoring 4 goals away from home. One player scoring 4 goals in a game. I can't remember the last time.
Us sitting here in July talking about a 4-0 win. We should be talking about a pre-season friendly win here. It just don't seem bad that we're still in the Premier League season. Like, it's crazy. And I think, you know, rightly, you know, we've said it about Mark Noble today. You know, he's ball for Antonio's 3rd goal as well. You know, he's got the ball, dropped him deep in midfield, looked up, over the top, great through ball. I know he gets a criticism, and I know people call me a Noble fanboy, but look, I'll criticise Noble when I have to. But today, I mean, 2 assists from him, you know, and I thought he had a solid performance in midfield today. I think Declan Rice, once again, just showed why, for me, Dan probably won't like me saying this, but for me, Declan Rice is my hammer of the year. I think Ogbonna is going to be close, but I think Declan Rice, as the commentator said, played every single minute of every single game this season. Yeah, he's never been taken off. And I think when you're a player and you don't get taken off, you know, it shows how important you are to the team. And I just think, look, if him or Ogbonna get it, then they both deserve it for me. I think they've both been the 2 outstanding players for us this season. But for me, I'll just edge it with Declan Rice for me.
I think Ogbonna was my shout for Player of the Year for a long period of time. But since the restart, as much as Bonner's been good and been key, Rice has been a different level.
Yeah. He showed it today, you know, when he just breaks up the play. You know, he doesn't always do everything like, not everything's got to be over the top. He just does it simple. And that's what you want from your player. And that just shows how important he was today. Even at 4-0 up, he was still doing it right to the last minute. Because in EZ, after what David Moyes' comments yesterday about not conceding, that's what you want to do. You don't want to concede. You want Fabianski to have a bit of confidence going into the defence, to have a bit of confidence.
Maybe that's winding.
Hey?
Well, you're not meant to concede. Oh, you're not meant to let him in that end. Oh,
yeah. See, that's what we've been doing wrong, Moisey.
There you go. That's the problem.
That's what happens if you don't concede. You don't concede a goal. Yeah, if you don't concede a goal, you guarantee the point. You know, so.
No, it's good.
The thing with Rice today is he weren't just breaking it up. He was starting things off as well. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for a long time. That's what Souček gives him. It gives him a license to go forward, and I think that's a part of his game we haven't really seen. Is him going forward because he's been so restricted. We had this discussion last week. He's been so restricted by what he's had around him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Souček just allows him, just frees him up a bit to express himself and go forward a bit. Because if he takes it forward and loses the ball, you want to lose the ball. If you're going to lose it down their end of the pitch. Don't lose it up our end of the pitch.
Exactly. That's it. You know, this classic. That's what the commentator said. I think Souček tried to play Frederick through and kicked it out of play. And like I think God all said, if you're going to give it away, that's where you want to give it away, not in your own third. You give it away.
What about Souček's shot in the first half? Noble little chip to the edge of the box and he smashed it on the volley. Great save from Tim Krul. Great save from Tim Krul. But if that goes in, that would have been probably West Ham's goal of the season, I think.
Yeah, that was a good little ball.
I mean, the ball was perfect, and he didn't have to change his stride or anything, just straight onto it.
Well, that's the thing.
I do like Souček though. I don't know what it is about him. I think if we wouldn't have signed him and Boehm in January, I reckon we'd be relegated already. I think them two players have made such a big difference to our squad, to our first team.
So lucky to get Bowen, really, because you know it was touch and go, weren't it, to the last minute? Whether he was going Palace, whether he was going Newcastle.
Oh yeah, do you remember the what was the video they done, Nick, when they launched him when he was tapping on his watch or something like that, wasn't it? Bowen, when we signed him, they done they do these little videos to announce them. He was tapping on his watch like that.
We was lucky to get him really because I think he was having a bit of a toss up between Palace, us, and Newcastle at the time. So
I think he was close to going to Palace when we.
Yeah, I think he was very close. Yeah, I think he was as close as going to Palace as he was as going to us. So, you know, we're lucky, really. We're lucky we got them. We're lucky we convinced them.
And
it ain't safe. That's for sure. Like we're not safe as we speak right now. No. But you know, a couple of losses tomorrow. I think you know, as long as we work hard, we'll be okay. But
I think that's our first.
To pull themselves out of it as well, aren't they? So
yeah, that's our first away win since December when we beat Southampton.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's the fucking highlight I showed.
Yeah. Nicky's been waiting since December to play that video.
That's the thing. That's you know, that is why we are where we are. Let's be honest. Be nice to go and get another away win, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Old Trafford before the season ends. We have to wait.
Yeah. As Nicky said earlier, I mean, Man United is going to be one of them games. The form they're in there, and they're chasing the Champions League, so that could be a tough game. But we've just got to concentrate on beating Watford next Friday, and we're a Premier League team next season.
Yeah, that's the key now. And in a way, it's probably good that we're not definitely safe because there's still something to play for in the next couple of games. The last few I went after the performance we've had, even though the results have not gone completely our way, like the Burnley one and the Newcastle one, I want us to keep playing the way we're playing because it's actually you're getting excited to watch us again. You know what I mean? I just don't want to. If Bournemouth and Villa lose today, and then you'll go to that Watford game, and neither team's going to be bothered. You know, they know a point to be enough to keep them up or something like that. We'll go on holiday. I don't want that.
Without being a negative Nelly and all of that.
Not like you.
No, I don't want to take away from the boys' performance today. I don't want to take away that everyone's buzzing and all of that thing. But this season, I mean, as we're drawing it to a close now, it's been a fucking fucked up whole season, isn't it? But
yeah, it hasn't been great.
But it's just not good enough, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? We seem to sit here year after year after year after year after year, sort of analysing at this point of the season where we're just sort of fucking keeping our head above water, and you know, it just starts to turn at this point of the season. But it's just not good enough from the club, you know. And I don't. The thing that worries me is I don't know whether they know it's not good enough. You know, maybe
I think they do. I think they do. The one thing they've got to do, Nick, and the first thing they've got to do, they've either got to, after this season, is they've got to stick with David Moyes, and they've got to back him and give him money and let him try to build his team. Because when you look at the signings that Moyes has brought in so far, we've just spoke about Souček and Bowen, both David Moyes signings. So we either back him, whether we think he's our manager going forward or not. Me personally, I don't. I think I'd like to see us maybe make that change in the summer. But if they do stick with him, give him some money, who knows? Who knows, you know?
Yeah, I think the problem is who's out there that's going to come, realistically.
When you look at his last time he was here signings, Hugh Gillen fucking Evra.
Yeah,
I know that, but
but he did get the best out of Arnie.
Yeah, he got. That's what I was just about to say. That he made Marko Arnautovic into a player that we cried when he left the club because he was that good, and we miss him. And that's one thing. Whoever's manager next season, we need to sign someone similar or similar attitude to Arnie. So we need a bastard in that team. You know, we need to take a gamble on someone. You know, someone like, I don't know, the boy from Rangers, Morelos. You know, goal scorer. You know, he's a bit of an arrogant bastard. You know, someone like that. We need someone in that team. We just need to mix it up a bit and get rid of players that have been passengers this season, because it's been a very difficult season to watch. You know, sometimes you sit there and you think to yourself, why am I bothering turning up? You know, it's not been great this season, but if we can end it on a high, and then as Nicky said, start to address it in the summer. First thing they've got to do is the manager. They've got to say whether they want Moyes, they don't want Moyes. If they don't, then they move on and try to find someone.
All of that. He's here. He's got a contract. They don't fucking start pissing about. Do we want him? Do we want him? Because look where we fucking ended up last time.
Yeah. I'm with you, Ray. It's got to be. And Nicky, if he's here, he's here. So let's plan that he's here. Don't start sitting there going, "Oh, we may need to change, You know, he's not our first choices. Let's be honest. He's not our first choice. But
I don't think
we've got to support him.
Where we can, we're not at the point now where we can afford to keep on saying, "Oh well," you know, because if we get in trouble again, he's not coming back again.
Unless someone comes up who the club can't say no to, then Moyes will be in charge.
If we got an offer of a Pochettino or someone like that, you know, you would have to turn around and say to him, "Thanks, Dave. Like, but we've got this big opportunity."
Yeah,
what are you laughing?
Thanks, Dave.
No, you just.
There's an Uber outside, yeah.
Like we can give you a job behind the scenes or whatever, see out your contract there or whatever. But we've had a chance to sign sort of someone like Pochettino or a manager of that ilk or whatever. Yes. But if not, if it's just going to be some other, like if, for instance, like they're going to go and drag Rafa Benitez back from the fucking brink again, don't bother. Just keep him. Because we'll only be back in the same fucking position in 18 months' time.
I'll be honest with you, mate. If Rafa Benitez become available, I'd think I'd take him over David Moyes.
I don't think so, because it's starting everything all over again, isn't it?
That's what I mean. I think you need to now, like you need to sort of give David Moyes a transfer window, a summer transfer window. Let him have a start to the season, because both times he's been at the club, he's taken over someone else's squad. You know, it's not been easy. So I'm not saying he's going to win the Premier League next season or we're going to finish in Europe. I'm not saying that. But if he's your man, then just give him a chance to do it.
The thing is, it just looks bad if you like twice if you do that to someone. You know, you brought him in, asked him to do the job, he's done it, and then you elbow him out the door. It just doesn't look.
I don't
Look very good, does it?
I don't think they give a shit how they look, Ray.
Oh, no, of course not. But the thing is,
Even let Avram go get on the fucking bus.
I was just about to say that. They didn't even. He went to get on the bus and they went, no.
Kicked him out of it.
And the bus drove off and Avram Grant was looking.
Go and check that tyre. And Scott with that geezer. The user out of order. Stop the bus.
They went like that. Oh, Avram, do us a favour, mate. Go and get that bag. As he went to pick it up, they drove off.
But this is the thing now. It's a case of, if he's going to be in there, then back him, see what he can bring in. Someone said I think Liam G said in the comments, he also brought in Mario on loan the last time he was there. Yeah. So, he's brought in a couple of good players. Every manager signs players that sometimes you sit there and think, well, why are we get him? And then they get a gem. To this season, he's brought in 2 gems. So, like we're saying, unless there's someone out there who's special, and then we've got the finances to back them, bet the devil you know.
Yeah, yeah, but
we need to. I think the problem is, mate, we need to get some sort of direction.
But that's what we've been saying for a long time.
David Moyes is a certain type of manager.
Yeah,
he's going to get. Well, I'll say that. I think it's like like one underneath Allardyce. He's gonna get some sort of job done, but he's never gonna fucking be pulling up trees these days. You know what I mean? Like, but you're going from that extreme where he's trying to get everything solid and get people working hard and all that, to some manager that wants to start playing some sort of fucking flair Brazil type football.
Yeah, that's what we can't do that jump.
Yeah,
we can't do that jump.
Going from one direction to the because the players don't know whether they're coming or going. But I still believed in Pellegrini. Pellegrini had to go in the end because I believed in Pellegrini all the way. We played some really good football last season as well. I believed in it, but I don't think that he believed that the board was serious about doing or about the project. And I think that's where a lot of managers go wrong, is that they come in and their ambition doesn't, the board's ambition doesn't match their ambition, and they just think, well, what's the fucking point? Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm still quite adamant that that's the way it goes, and they just give up. Pellegrini in the end had just given up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The poor fucker couldn't buy a win. You know what I mean? Like, he got that fucking lucky 1-0 at Chelsea, and then we was losing games. It just didn't give a fuck. Like, but how can you expect someone to come in to give a fuck when they don't give a fuck? If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. As we said, the manager's got to be backed. We said he was back at Pellegrini. Pellegrini lost his way, and you see that. I think if, like you said, Moyes has got if he's got a plan of what the players want, he wants to bring in, then he's got a plan in place for how he wants to play. If you look at the performances recently, if that's what we're going to go ahead and push on from and try and play like that, and then them type of performances next season, then so as we tighten up a bit at the back, we'll go on to finish mid-table.
Yeah, the problem is you don't want West Ham to be that team that wins one, loses 2 or 3 in a row, then wins one. You've got to start getting consistent wins and results and things like that, and go unbeaten for 5 or 6 games. I'm not saying we're going to win every game, but even if you draw a couple, but you need to just get that out, because this season it's like the players, when they go 1-0 down, their heads drop. And they think, oh right, that's it now, game over.
All their heads drop. We've lost more points from winning position than anyone.
24 points.
Winning positions.
Yeah, that 24 points would put us 6th or 7th now.
Fucking probably above Liverpool.
Fucking, you need about 57 points to be above them, but
we'll have them as well. We'll have their points.
Yeah, but no, it's one of them seasons. It's just another year gone by, another season gone by, where we're talking about the same thing over and over again.
It's not just another year gone by, right? It's another full season of paying out for travel and season tickets. And away tickets. It's another couple of grand down the fucking pan from the people that they
they promised they would be fucking competitive.
The thing is, 2 of our best wins, we ain't even been able there to see Chelsea and Norwich.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's a kicker. And then there's a lot of comments about it. You know, things started going wrong for us with the injury to Fabianski. You know, that's been the big killer of this season. The fact that them players had no confidence in Roberto coming in whatsoever.
Yeah, me and Nicky was at Bournemouth away when Fabianski got injured, and straight away you could tell that Roberto was a bit like he weren't the man to take over from Fabianski, but you thought he'd give him a chance. And I think the killer blow for us was when we lost to Palace at home in the last minute, you know, with the VAR. Because if we'd have won that day, that would have put us up to 5th or 4th or something like that.
It just seemed to suck the life out of us, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
The Burnley game, man, when he was fucking slapping it in.
That's it. You know
what? I remember that Burnley game.
He looked like he was going to cry.
I remember
that one in. He was shouting at everyone else.
I remember that Burnley game. It was pissing down the rain, freezing cold. Roberto just smashed it into his own goal. He punched it in. I just turned around and looked at Nicky's face, and I just remember him looking at me going, "What's the point?" And he put his hands up.
What's just happening?
Yeah, what's happening? And I'll never forget that. That was the worst away game I've been to in a long time.
But you see the players had no confidence in him because, as I said to you on one of the post-match pints when he was in goal, the fact that he pulled off a save, a one-on-one save or something like that, no player then went and like slapped his hand or fist pumped him or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? And you see Fabianski pull off a worldie.
It's because they were all standing there in shock that he actually saved the ball.
Yeah, I can't believe he's done it.
But that to me shows there's no faith in the goalkeeper.
Yeah, but Fabianski's been
faith in a goalkeeper because in that Burnley, especially in that Burnley game, after he let 1 or 2 in, they was trying to the most riskiest moves to try not to knock it out for a corner. He couldn't handle corners. He couldn't handle the physicality of it. Every time there was a corner, I thought he was going to cry. Honestly, everyone I'm looking around.
You know what it's like. Even like when we've played on Saturdays and that, you know, sometimes if you're not confident to keep it behind you, whenever a cross or a corner comes, it causes panic amongst the defenders. You think, I've got to win this. I've got to win this. Yeah. You take that to a professional level where the strikers you're playing against, you know, can.
I'd rather have Jamie Brownlow in goal for us with a win with us against us than fucking Roberto.
I thought McKnight was bad, but fuck me.
Yeah, but no, I mean, just quickly going back to today's game as well. I mean, Twitter meltdown once again after 65 minutes. Moyes never made a sub. He ended up making 5 subs today.
4 goals, 5 subs. Come on.
Yeah, 4 goals, 5 subs. You know, clean sheet. It's like 2020 might have a good ending. It's a great day all round, and you know, we're all sitting there watching the game along with the millions of West Ham fans around the world, and you know, you sort of felt like you was watching a team that were comfortably mid-table or chasing Europe. You know, it didn't look like we was in a team that was. I know, look, people are going to say, "Oh, look, it's only Norwich again," but look,
beat what's in front of you.
Yeah, you can only beat what's in front of you, and if we can take that confidence into the Watford game, get a result there, that's it. And, you know, that's all that matters now is that we stay a Premier League team. That's all that matters now, and then we build for next season. And we've got look. It's not hard to improve this season, is it? I mean, fucking anything can improve this season. It's been a dreadful season. You know, it's one that we'll never forget. With obviously everything that's gone on with lockdown, no crowds, and you know, but. Come on, your eyes.
Let's finish strongly.
Put a decent performance in against Watford, get a win against them. Man United is, you know, one of them. You might get something, you may not. And then go into the last game of the season, no pressure, and enjoy the game.
A little bit of negative for today, and I'm saying it's a little bit of negative. The only player for me that really frustrated me today was Fornals. He either under hits a pass or over hits a pass.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that frustrates me about him because he is going to be a good player. Another season in the Premier League, I think he'll be a lot better next season than what he has been this season. You can see there's a decent player in him. He looks like the ideal replacement for Lanzini, but today for me, he just, as I said, he either overhits it or underhits it. He wasn't working. There was a couple of times where Declan Rice had to cover for him.
Yeah.
But look, he's only young. You know, he's had he probably thought he was going to come to West Ham and have a great season, top half. He'd be doing tricks and flicks. We'll all be going, "Way," and all that every time he does it, and we'll love him. It's been tough for him, but it's been a good learning curve for him. You know, the Premier League ain't about, you know, cruising games. You know, you got to battle to win every single game.
It'll toughen him up a bit, and hopefully we'll see an even better player next season.
Yeah,
I want to see some. I want to see some steel in the side next year. Got too many fucking people that fold like origami under pressure.
a couple more leaders around the squad.
I think so. I think Lanzini would go. I can. Do you know what? I can see Lanzini going to a fucking China or something. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a quick question? Would you be looking to maybe bring in another established centre back with a bit of Premier League experience? Would you think we'd need to look to strengthen a bit of centre back, maybe a leader, or do you think Diop's got that in him?
With Reed not coming back, I would say yeah. Like I think we didn't sign one this season because they thought Reed was going to come back a lot quicker than he was, and he's obviously regressed or whatever, or you know he's never going to be the same. I think they will sign one more centre back. I could even see someone like Balbuena going.
Don't forget we've got Cardoso as well, the young.
I could even say I don't think they'll get rid of Diop. I don't think they'll sell Diop, but I could see someone like Balbuena going. Ogbona's not young now. He's got to be 32 next year, and you know he's going to start regressing sooner rather than later. He's had a very good season this season, but he's never been the most solid, has he?
I don't know. You got to remember.
Not when you look back at history. As I said, he's had a very good season, but he's always been one of them people that, you know, he's either brilliant or he's fucking awful.
Yeah, but you got to remember he had that serious knee injury, didn't he? That he played through, and he was brilliant that season. And then it took him a long while to get going, to get back. And I think now we're seeing that Ogbonna back. And I know what you're saying. He's not any younger. He's getting older.
Been at West Ham. He's been at West Ham 5 years now, hasn't he? 5 seasons he's been at West Ham. He's been a great servant for the club, and I think he's shown this season as well how important he can be at times.
I love him.
Yeah, I still do. As I said, I mean, you know, one of my favourite memories was Ogbonna when he scored the winner against Liverpool in the FA Cup. In the bowling.
Was that when I was going to go and hide in the toilets?
Yeah.
Getting ready for penalties.
Graham went.
I was going. Right, I'm going to go and hide in the toilet.
I was sitting next to Graham. He went, "This is going penalties." I was like, "No, wait another minute."
This is going penalties. I better go and occupy my glory hole.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's other players that you're going to question. You know, maybe Yarmolenko might look to move on. Maybe he feels he's not getting. I know he's been injured, but maybe he's getting a bit frustrated and not getting chances at West Ham. Maybe he might look to move. Maybe Felipe Anderson might look to move. So these are the sort of players you've got to be already looking to replace. Because
I would be moving on Anderson.
For the right money, I think.
Yeah. If it was a choice between sell like Rice or Anderson and Yarmo, I'd have to sell them.
No, I'd sell the fucking 24 other players out of the squad than Declan Rice.
Honestly, because I think we can still get good money for him. You know. I think Haller has one more chance. Yeah,
Haller deserves another season, I think. He struggled this season. He was our top goal scorer before today's game. I mean, Antonio was only on 4 goals before the start of the game. He's now on 8, and he's our top goal scorer, which just shows you know.
Tells you all you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just shows you.
And the thing is with Haller as well, he was just getting some service from Bowen, and you know he was getting a strike partner in Antonio, and then he gets in. Then the lockdown happens, and then he gets injured. So I'm with you. Give him another try. I think Anderson can be shown the door because I think we'll get good money for him, and it takes a big wage off of the bill, which opens up. You know, we can go if Moyes is looking at championship players and things like that, we can get them.
We've got an abundance of wingers, and I think we've got one brilliant winger coming back. I'd rather have Diangana over not Yarmolenko, Anderson any day of the week. Because I think
Anderson just looks disinterested a lot of the time. Yeah. He just doesn't look interested.
It's just his personality. And then you've got people out there like I can see in the comments that people are saying it, like Ryan Fraser on a free. If you can convince him to come, he's a better player than Anderson,
and he's only young as well. So is he 26? Ryan Fraser.
Yeah,
Probably the same age as Anderson.
Yeah. I just think with Anderson, he on his day, you look at him and you think he's got all the attributes to be a top player, but he just looks so disinterested and he don't like the battle. And he probably should be going to play for someone in Spain and in the top half of the league, warm weather, and just enjoying his football, or go back to Italy and be a passenger out there. But we can't afford passengers at West Ham. We need players that are going to work week in, week out, you know, and get us up the table.
That's exactly it. I must admit, there was a couple of the Norwich youngsters that looked quite good.
I like that Hernandez.
He was lively, wasn't
he was one of the bright spots for him today. He was getting forward. I think that was their trouble. They get their fullbacks on, but they weren't really getting back, and there was a massive holes behind them.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've only got to look at some of the runs Pookie made. He made some really good runs, and they didn't even pass the ball to him. And you know, you can see why he's getting frustrated there. I'd even have a punt on Tim Krul. You know, I think
back up for Fabianski.
Yeah,
Fabianski's 35 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's probably got another 2 seasons in him, I reckon. So we need to start. I don't think Randolph's going to be our number one. You know, so we've got to be looking to sort of in the next couple of years trying to replace Fabianski. So would Tim Krul be? Because how old's Tim Krul? He's got to be in his 30s, isn't he?
He was playing for Newcastle for about 15 years.
Have a look.
He's playing for Newcastle when Asprilla was there. I think he's got to be sort of similar sort of age to what Scott tell us now. He's only 22.
I'm just waiting for it to load. Hold on.
Sort of Newcastle get rid of
him. Dial up internet there, Scott.
No, I'd come off my Wi-Fi because Tim Krul is 32.
What? Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, 32.
No.
Man, isn't it? He's 4 years younger than me.
He's a good. He'll be a good backup, and if you know, I'd be more reliant on him than the other goalkeepers we got, and you know. Martin, I think, an all right keeper. Randolph is an all right keeper, but I think Krul's better.
There's people saying about Nick Pope. I think the thing is with Nick Pope, because he's English, I think you're probably looking at about 30 million for him.
Oh, and the rest.
Probably, yeah.
He ain't going to want to come to. He ain't going to want to be a backup either.
He'll be number one.
The one we're forgetting about is if Villa go down, Heaton. Because considering we totally forgot he went to Villa.
Yeah,
you know, if they go down, he could be worth, you know, a pump for it.
Don't forget though, as well. I mean, you've got what's his name? What a fucking got out of my head now. The Stoke keeper.
Oh, Butland,
Jack Butland.
Yeah.
No.
As a backup for Fabianski, and then with potential to take over.
And is he just fucking off or what?
Who's the?
He's staying. He's not going.
I can't think of his name as well. My fucking mind's gone black, lady. The goalkeeper at Bournemouth at the moment. If they go down, he's a young goalkeeper. He's put in some great performances this season for
Bournemouth.
Who? Just making up random names now.
That's what you got to be looking at. I think you got to look at some championship players, and you got to look at some of the better players from the teams that get relegated. You know, I'd wait and see what happens at Bournemouth. If Bournemouth go down, I still think Callum Wilson's worth a shout for the right money.
But Bournemouth are going to want stupid money.
It's how their finances are.
Well, they get the parachute payment, don't they? Which helps them. So,
yeah, but when people turn around to you know and say these days about we should be looking at like like Aki or King or Wilson or Campbell or all that. You got to remember these players don't go for cut price money anymore. They go for like big money. You know what I mean? Like to prize people away from the championship, we have to pay big money. Yeah, gone are the days when it'd be like a fire sale when they go down and they need all the fucking money they can get. They're demanding they'll still demand something like £30 million for King.
But all you do is you hang on till the late into the transfer window.
Yeah, but then you risk people like losing the
Yeah.
Do you think Norwich are going to let Max Aarons go for anything less than about £25 million? They won't.
No.
Not in a million years.
But that's it. You just got to test the water. You got to see how financially stable they are when they get relegated. You know, Villa are going to be in a good position because they'll sell Grealish and that'll. You know,
Could you imagine if we got relegated? David Sullivan, yeah, go on, give us a quid. Sebastian Haller going for a £5. Yeah, go on, we'll take it.
The fucking yellow label things at Tesco's. He was just chucking them all on the floor.
On the old, what is it, the ups counter? The ups counter.
Yeah, you see half price Sebastian Haller walking around.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like thingy, but yeah, it was a good win today. I see some Man United up in the comments saying, "Oh, you're getting all happy because it was only Norwich and all that." Yeah, we beat you. It was only Man United.
I think we sort of said that earlier in the show, didn't we? We know it's Norwich and they're, you know, they had no fight today, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and it's a great result to go to any ground in the Premier League and win 4-0, score 4 goals is a great achievement.
We just beat Chelsea 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've been there when we've gone to places like that against teams like that who are really bad and lost. So.
Scott, the 92nd minute, mate, I was still sitting there thinking West Ham can lose this. I know what we're like. 4-0 up with a fucking minute to go. Somehow West Ham will fuck this up.
That's it, exactly. That's it. That's what we used to. So, you know, we're going to see. End of the day, we ain't had a lot of wins this season. I
remember once we was 5-0 up at home against Burnley, and Nicky was sitting there, cigar out. Oh, look at this. They scored 3 goals in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Hanging on at the end.
We was hanging on. It was 5-0 up with 10 minutes to go.
That's the West Ham way.
Yeah, but massive win today, and as you said, we've all said it, massive bit of confidence going into that game now. They've got a bit of time off now, so I know people. I think he took Antonio off with 15 minutes to go. So now we've got a week. You know, when do we play? Next Friday, don't we? So a bit of time off now, and Antonio will be fresh for next week.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, have you heard anything about Have you heard about this fucking Charity Shield game?
No.
They're thinking about doing this Charity Shield. You know, they do the Charity Shield with FA Cup.
Yeah.
Anyway, if Man United or Man City get through to the next rounds of the Champions League or whatever, it's around the same time that they'll be playing the final.
Okay.
So they're talking about sort of you know, doing maybe an alternative, maybe the winner of the championship or someone from, like a team from Scotland or something in that ilk. Right? They're thinking about making that the test for fans in the stadium.
All right.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be fucking going. I'll be no cunt's guinea pig. That's for fucking sure. They ain't going to be able to have fans in the stadium for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to take. Yeah, you're right. It's going to take a long time before we start seeing fans back.
Until there is a vaccine in place, they will not be able to, because any large gathering like that where people are screaming and shouting and jumping all over each other and fucking Johnny next door to you who comes every week and don't have a bar for a week and he's jumping all over you after we score. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Well, I see that yesterday, mate, that they were saying that if fans can go, they're not allowed to stand up or scream and shout. And I thought, imagine that. Imagine West Ham being 2-0 down and the fans just sitting there with silent, pointing.
Just like that. You 2-0 up.
Yeah. The thing is that I don't see why they're rushing it, to be honest. It's better to be safe than to rush it. You know, you only got to look at your cases around the rules.
They have some sort of indication that there will be fans there, because I think it's Tottenham that are asking for 20% of season ticket money to be paid for next season. A lot of people who obviously got a refund are obviously that covers them for their 20% or whatever. But Tottenham are starting to ask for 20% of of the, you know, season ticket money for next season. So they must have some sort of idea. But all this, they're talking about masks becoming fucking like compulsory and all of that. Listen, you have a fart and it comes through your jeans and pants. How fucking COVID-19 going to stand a little paper mask?
Yes. There's a lot to.
My farts come through the fucking thick duvet covers. COVID-19 in a little fucking paper mask.
I've seen you. Your farts have gone through walls before.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't listen to shit.
But, no, look, on a serious note, though, yeah, there is a lot of work to do before we can even think about going back to football. I mean, I see him yesterday saying about for the first, when they do start letting fans, that away fans won't be allowed at games. It'll just be home fans only. So there's a lot of work to get, but we're in July. The season will start in September. Even if they turn around and said, look, the first couple of months or the first 10 matches we're playing with no fans, see how it goes, and then start introducing fans back.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they've got to do.
I'll be honest with you, I'm fucking enjoying it at home. No travelling, no egg.
Yeah, that is the thing. It is there has been some plus sides to being locked down, but it'd be nice to get some sort of normality football wise back. I must admit.
Yeah, I mean they're starting to slowly. I mean, I think is it from Monday that you see things like tattoo shops and that start opening. I think gyms open from the 25th, and slowly you're seeing things opening now. And who knows, by the end of the year, we could be in a totally different. We could sort of be back to normal.
Right, I could see people saying about ballots and splitting it up and letting certain people. Listen, I don't want to go if that's going to be the case, because imagine if I was sitting here and you're sitting there and Jade's sitting fucking over there and Scott's sitting there and Graham's sitting over there. You start to sing a song. No one's going to see. You're just going to look like a fucking madman.
Yeah.
I sing a song, a fucking bouncer fucking comes and fucking drags you out. You know what I mean? And it's fucking muffled because you've got a fucking big fat mask on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch it on the telly if I can't go and enjoy the atmosphere. They can stick their fucking COVID-19 football up their arse, because I won't be going to watch it. And if they want me to go and pay fucking the money for a season ticket, there ain't no way I'm paying fucking money for a season ticket to be. I'll
be honest though. You got to give people credit for how they've got football back, even to what it is now. You know, you got to give them credit, because I know that we was all against it when it was coming back, and we didn't think it was going to come back, but. You know, I think they've done well since it has come back, and the way they've sort of managed it. And, you know, we all thought there was going to be people going down with the coronavirus and football. But, you know, all the checks that they do before games, after games, during games, the little drink breaks where they obviously sanitize the goalposts and the balls and things like that. It's little things like that. So they have done well to get football back for us.
I think I'll be honest with you. I think they've been quite fortunate the way it's gone, because if we were still in a, you know, the state we was in March and April, with the fact that like people going down for it, we'd have had a second wave and all that. How could you? And I said this at the time, and it was just so happened to be that when they came back, it was just about the time when they was making like tests readily available to people. But at the time, they was talking about testing everyone twice a week. When you've got like NHS staff dying and things like that, I still don't think it was the right thing to do.
Mate, one death.
I'm not going to complain because, you know, I'm not going to complain because it's here and it's nearly done now. And the sooner it's done, the fucking sooner we can get it all over and done with and all that. But I still do believe that there was a lot of people that weren't in the right frame of mind. You know, they've changed the rules of the season. You know, they have done well to get it back, but it should never have come back though in the form it was.
Even if there's one death now during now and the end of the season, it hasn't been a success because someone's obviously died. But I think the way they've brought it back, and we're starting to, I think we can all say, I'm not just talking about today's result, but I think we've all enjoyed sort of watching football since it's been back. It's given you, I know it's not, we want to be at the games, but it's giving you a little bit of normality back in your life that you got something to look forward to. Because you go back to before football come back, there was nothing, was there? And you didn't know what was going on, and there was rumours. And I mean, I used to watch Sky Sports News dragging out 24-hour shows, you know what I mean? Talking about, you know, it was difficult. And but I think, you know, I'm glad it's back. We've got 2 weeks left and it's all over. You know, we can all have another break you know, and then get ready for next season.
Well, I honestly, so I think someone's in the comments just saying the numbers are creeping back up. Yeah, I believe they will creep back up. I think I've just got an alert on my phone saying that it's creeping back up in my area.
Well, I mean, did you see the? I think it was last weekend in Arizona. They opened up the bars and all that again,
and then shut them back
everyone
down.
went out. Right, went out. No social distance or anything like that. And then the next day there was a big spike again. They've had to shut all the bars again.
It wouldn't have happened the next day.
Well, yeah, it's not.
A few days later, it turned, you know, people were testing positive, and then within a week they were shutting the bars down again.
Yeah, and that's why we can't rush.
If what I'm saying, going back to football, if they try and charge me the same money that they charge me now for a season ticket for next season, there ain't no way I'm paying.
Nah, they won't. They won't. I know our owners are a lot of things, but I can't see them doing that. And even if they might, I don't know, pay a bit towards it or something like that. I don't know. I can't see them saying, right, you got to pay £500, but you're only allowed to see 2 games this season.
No, it's not about seeing the games, right? It's the, you know, distancing from everything. It's not going to be. I don't want to just watch the football. I don't go there.
You want to get back involved.
I go there to experience the atmosphere. I go there to contribute and share. Imagine if you go, "Come on, you eyes," and the kids go, "Shut the fuck up!
Yeah. Shut up! Put your mask on." It'd be like when we first moved to the London Stadium.
Your contract starts whopping you out the door. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to watch football like that. I can do that at home.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you can't return properly back to how it was before, then just give it back.
And I won't be paying any fucking money to be part of it.
I think it might be worth it. I think it might be worth it just to see Nicky get a good hiding down the stairs.
Imagine going to the away day, you're all sitting there just folding your arms.
Yeah,
like you're at school, folding your arms, fingers on lips.
Imagine though, like even when you score, you can't scream or shout or celebrate. You just got to go.
Yeah, fucking waving your arms about a silent disco. It's fucking ridiculous, like.
Yeah, it's going to take, but hopefully, you know, let's hope that we can move forward and next season will be a lot better. If they have to,
and I always thought this might be a possibility. And they should do this anyway. I think after this coronavirus is done, I think they should be offering this anyway. They should offer virtual season tickets. They should offer a virtual season ticket. They should offer. They should turn around and say, "Well, pay £125 for the year, or whatever, and you watch every game home and away. You never miss one, like on West Ham TV or whatever it is." And you know, obviously they got a little bit. You know, there was no time to arrange that sort of thing. But like, I'd rather pay that than pay whatever it is they want me to pay to go and fucking sit in the stand on my own.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Good idea.
But all in all, it's been a great day.
No, I think that's the way forward. It should have been done a long time ago. Like
a bit like Premiership Plus. You remember when they used to do that when you used to pay to watch the games?
Yeah.
It gives fans the choice then that can't go to home games like and away games like say, yeah. I reckon if they offered a season ticket for £200, I think people would pay that. Watch every single home and away game.
$19.99 a month would be a decent price, I think. And not only that way would they be able to make up for the money that they've lost. Because more people would be buying that. Like it wouldn't just be the season ticket holders, you know what I mean, that would be buying that. It would be more people above that, you know what I mean? Like you'll get, instead of 50,000 season ticket holders, you'll get sort of like 100,000 or 200,000, you know, virtual season ticket holders, and that makes up for the money if there can't be fans in the stadium.
Yeah,
ain't there something though that the club can't do that because of Premier League rights?
Yeah, but I think it's got to be.
It's got to be the Premier League's got to obviously. It's got to be for all clubs. And listen, if David Sullivan can make money for it, he'll be doing it. Trust me.
Yeah, but obviously it would be a Premier League owned thing. It wouldn't be a West Ham owned thing.
it'd be a Premier League owned thing, because at the end of the day, you know, they don't sit there fucking selling these money for these rights for billions and billions and billions to these people for you just to go and fucking buy something for a score off West Ham. They sell these rights for a fucking reason. But we're in unprecedented circumstances at the minute. Unprecedented circumstances. But it's like this has ever happened in our lifetime. So, you know, you can't sit there and expect fans to be buying these, you know, these season tickets when they don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, not only that, it's just the current economic crisis, you know, the current recession. Are people going to have that spare money on the hip just to, you know, like we all say it, knowing West Ham, the fucking season will finish and they go, you got to have your season ticket paid tomorrow. We don't know whether you're going to come back or not.
Oh, I'm surprised there ain't been an, because of the great win today. I'm surprised there ain't an email come around saying, Antonio scored 4 goals today. You have 4 days to secure your season ticket for next season. Pay within 4 hours now.
Yeah, like, pay within 4 hours, otherwise we're going to give it to Johnny, who's never been. Yeah.
But
like there's so many things that they have to consider. They have to consider, like, is it going to be fair to, you know, like they do credit checks for people that want to pay it over time?
Yeah, they're going to need time to do that.
And just let them pay it over time anyway, because people ain't going to have money on the hip. Nobody knows when they're going to fucking go and you know, go and fucking watch a game.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. So they're going to have to take time.
Like a pay per game thing.
Yeah,
same money, but you just pay per game.
Yeah.
I think obviously if fans can't come back to football, it's probably something that the Premier League are already looking back into. I mean, how nice is it to have every single game on the telly, whether it's on Sky, BT, BBC, Prime, whatever. You've always got the option to watch a game of football in your team.
It's lucky enough, like when you're watching it on the TV, because they're pumping in all the sounds and all that, it's not really any different to when you.
I don't watch it with sounds.
You don't watch it with sounds?
No, I watch it without the sounds. I can't stand it, all that fake crowd noise. I prefer watching it without the. I like watching it like without the crowd noise. It's quite relaxing.
I've done watch along, so I haven't watched any games with sound. But when I've been to my mum's house and she's had it on, she puts the crowd noise on. It's no different to watching the game. It's just that the crowd's a little bit moody at times. You know what I mean? They'll ooh when they should have hard, and they'll cheer when they should have booed, and things like that. It's, you know, it doesn't really like affect like the television watching experience, but it's so different. It's so different when you look at the whole. I think life's different. Not just football. Life is going to be different.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's a new normal.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be, everything's going to change. You'll be a new normal when it's just, you need to wait until that's all done to see what, before you can start asking people to part with their money.
Just quickly, Nick, I don't know if did you see that thing earlier that Baz posted about BT Sport?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole video, but I watched a bit of it and I got a sort of gist of what happened. And it's fucking naughty, isn't it? Like, you know, Sam telling people what they can and can't say, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Well,
absolutely ridiculous.
I spoke about this because I watched the video when it went out. I was very intrigued to see it because we've had very similar experiences, and you know,
that's what I'm saying. It's nice that a sort of it's not nice, but it's nice that another fan channel has experienced that.
Yeah,
because I think sometimes when we say things, people might think, "Oh, you're fucking making it up," or this, that, and the other. But now, sort of, Baz has experienced it himself, and he's come out and said about it, and it was good that he did come out and say about it because it's made awareness, and it just goes to show that the club watch everything that everyone does, and I think it's disappointing that the club have done that. You know, silenced fans for having an opinion. Baz didn't go on there and start slagging them off, saying, "Oh, they're this, that, and the other." He was just saying it as it is. Asked the question, "What's going on at West Ham?" Baz is not going to sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, it's all lovely. We love it. We love being in a relegation battle. Everything's perfect. You know, we're all happy with Moyes. We're happy with the board." It's not going to happen because it's not the truth. So, when you start silencing the fans and saying they can say this, can't say that, that's for me when football's dead. This is where channels like
like his and like ours are so important. Because and I said this, but and like this is why I don't accept people turning around and saying to me things like you're embarrassing us and all that. They embarrass themselves.
Exactly.
All they do is tell the truth.
Mm.
Like they embarrass us. Like, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, everybody can see it's shit. Everybody knows why it's shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't stop someone from going on a mainstream channel and saying how shit it is, because you know everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. All you're doing is trying to say, and it doesn't look good for them. You know what I mean? Let people vent themselves. You know what I mean? Like, let people vent their frustrations and all that. But that is why you can't trust what you see from the mainstream media, because he told the truth and he got told he couldn't say the truth.
And I think even the host was surprised.
Yeah, Jake Humphrey's a big Norwich fan. I know that the Talk Norwich City guys, Rio was there. You know, they was questioning why can't he say it and all that, and it was just, we just can't have it on it. We just can't have it. That's why you cannot trust what you hear from the mainstream media.
But the good thing is then he can go on his own channel and say it, and they can't do nothing.
Well, this is the thing. They can try, but they can't. It's not libelous. It's not. You're just giving your opinion. Like censoring, like big people like BT Sports and that. They're scared of people like David Sullivan and David Gold, because they've got a lot to lose, got rights to lose, they've got money to lose, and you know, we see it with Sky Sports. You know, they told the truth. There are a couple of people giving their opinion on now, and they had to fucking make a grovelling apology the next week.
So that Sunday supplement, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Sunday supplement. But this is the thing, Ryan. This is why you have to start looking at you know, these sort of channels if you want the truth, and you want, like, they try it. We've seen it. They try and buy off even fan media. We know people that have had fucking things thrown at them to give them favourable things. You know what I mean? Like give them money or give them exclusive stories or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, you got one of these cunts was threatening to sue someone last week for saying the fucking same thing. I tweeted him. I told him exactly the same fucking thing. What's he going to do? I ain't got fuck all. I ain't got nothing. What's he going to do for?
I just think that, you know, as we said, what we do, what all the other fan channels do, is all fans have got an opinion and a voice. No opinion's right, no opinion's wrong. Everyone's got an opinion. But when they start silencing you, and they, you know, that's for me when football's dead, and that's why they've not got that connection with fans.
But this is it,
things like that.
This is the first time you've heard of it. We've experienced it. We've experienced them trying to obviously censor fans things. We've heard of them asking people to take certain videos down. We know that they give information to certain websites to feed you their narrative. They can't buy off people like us, because we're not there to be bought. We tell the truth. That's what we do. We're a platform where we give everybody a voice, and that is why we started doing this. Because if that is just coming out today, who can you trust? Because if Baz hadn't have told you that on Carrow and Blue TV, you would have never heard that.
Scott Gann. All right, Scott. Look, Scott's going to hide his money that David Sullivan sent him.
No, but you would never have heard that. You would never have heard that story. You would have never have. They would have just said to someone of a lesser mind, of a weaker mind, you know, you can't say that, and they would have went, oh, okay, because they want to be on the fucking telly. Like we've been in that situation before. We got offered to be on the telly. We got offered to do this on the telly and that on the telly, and they, you know, they try to lure you in with, like, you're going to be on the telly. Who gives a fuck? I don't want to be on a fucking telly. It's all a lie.
Yeah, do you remember that when that fan TV, when that's to help them out, give them all the idea? All right, how much going to pay
you? Fucking studio, fucking 3 times a week to go and present this or be part of this fucking panel. We asked them if they was going to pay us for our time. They said no. I said, well, what are we going to do it for? They're going to be on the telly.
Yeah, they went, oh, you'll be on the telly, and Justin Lee Collins is hosting it. I'm like, who gives a fuck about Justin Lee Collins?
Yeah, when it was a Friday night project, I might have had it, but
Since then, he beat up his girlfriend, and he's fucking sitting on your sofa, mate.
But they wanted us. It's like when we went to that Amazon meeting. Like they dragged us in there. They asked us, we sort of give them all the ideas, thinking, oh yeah, right, we're gonna, and that was it. And then once we started clicked and we realised we're not getting nothing out of this, we stopped talking and just like, yeah, all right, we'll see you later. Because they wanted us to give them the ideas for them to go and do another show, their own show, but with fans' ideas, but getting people like Peter Crouch to host it and things like that.
Yeah, we told them exactly what they needed to do. They'll have the football at one point. I'm sure of it, Amazon. But you know, when you hear that
more people watch YouTube now than they do telly anyway. So
no,
they're on the right platform.
Like people said up there, AFTV are clowns. No, AFTV are telling you the fucking truth. They don't get censored and all of this sort of thing. They don't censor themselves. They are exactly the same. They might have some questionable characters on there. They might have some questionable, opinions and all that. But that's their opinion. How fucking silly you think they are? That's their opinion. You know what I mean? Like, do I agree with everything DT? No, I think he's a whinging cunt at times, but that's his opinion. You know what I mean? Like, do I agree with everything Troop says? No, I think he's a whinging cunt at times, but it's his opinion. I'm a whinging cunt. That's my opinion. You've got, and the more you listen to them opinions, the more you realise what the fuck is going on, because everything else is being covered up by these mainstream media things. I never understood why they give, and I said this yesterday, I've never understood why they give people like the Sun, the Mirror, and all of them unprecedented access to football clubs, yet they hold everyone like us at arm's length. Yeah. Because them fucking clubs will tell lies to get them fucking stories. I've never understood that. We know that they don't fear lies, they fear the truth.
Well, not only that, mate, you look, they give access to people like the Moose. Now, the Moose is at every West Ham game, gets access. But then he goes on TalkSport and says that Declan Rice is too good for West Ham, he needs to move. Now, how's that good for the club? Exactly. All right, what he might be saying is, yeah, Declan Rice is probably too good for West Ham. But to say, oh, no, he's got to leave, when you're meant to be a fan, you want it surely, but then you've got all of us for saying, yeah, Declan Rice is too good for West Ham, but we need to keep him at West Ham. That's the difference between proper fans and a media whore who just loves a free fucking sandwich at half time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's bang on, mate. That is it. We know Rice is too good, but let him be too good in our team. At the end of the day, he's our player. We want to keep him our player for as long as we possibly can.
Richard Beach just made a good point in the comments. They fear what they can't control. That's why they don't like people like us, because they can't control us. They've tried so many times to reach out to have us do this or have us do that. We're not interested. We're not interested in doing that shit.
That's it, mate. That is it.
That's it.
He has spoken.
But going back to the game, man, the match today, no surprises. Antonio, well deserved.
What did he do? Didn't do anything special.
Yeah, apart from the 4 goals, he didn't really do much, did he? No, he
was brilliant today, absolutely brilliant.
And you know what? When you look at sort of going back to David Moyes as well, what he done for Arnie, he sort of done it for Antonio, isn't he? Give him that license to play up front, and it's working out for him. And I'm glad that he's got his 4 goals today. I always love watching him in his interviews after a game, because he's always smiling. He just seems to be happy to be playing football. So
he's enjoying his football as well at the minute.
Yeah. And when you got a player, when players are enjoying their football, results will come and confidence will come. And that's the one thing we need to, as we said earlier in the show, try to end the season on a high. Maybe another win or 2 in the next 3 games. As long as we're a Premier League team next season, that's all that matters. And someone's just said it there. Antonio's coming into his last year of his contract. He's 30 years old. West Ham need to tie him down now, because the way he's been playing in these last few games, there's probably teams eyeing him up already, looking at that situation. Antonio.
Yeah.
I just love his attitude. I'd say, I guarantee you, if they say, mate, you got to go and goal today, you go, all right then. He just loves playing football. Like you can see the way he plays, he just loves playing football.
When Bilic chucked him at right back, he weren't happy, but he done it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you do. You put him out in the wing, you put him up front, as you said, put him in goal. You know, ask him for a lift home after the game, he'll probably drop you home. That's the sort of bloke he is. He'll go out of his way to drop you home.
Brilliant. No, his attitudes, but like just not just towards football, but his attitude in general to, like you say, see him in interviews and that, he's always like really, really polite, courteous, always smiling.
I think
just seems to have
to be honest with you, he's a big successful story, Antonio. He come from non-league and he worked his way up the leagues, and it's just like, look, we all know he isn't the most talented players. We know he's not the most skillful players, but hard work and determination has got him to where he is today. He's, without a fucking shadow of a doubt, our most important player.
Oh, man. Since he come back against Tottenham that time, since he's come back into this season, without him, we'd have been relegated, I reckon. Without him and Bowen, I think we'd have gone down already. We'd probably be in the same situation as what Norwich are in at the moment, bottom of the league, fucking couldn't be bothered. Just want to see out the season. But now Antonio's been unbelievable this season, and they've got to tie him down to give him a new 3-year, 4-year deal, see out his career at West Ham. I think he deserves it. And bearing in mind, I remember last season, and we was guilty of it as well on here, wanting to sell him. Just shows our importance.
It shows what we know, really.
No, but everyone was saying the same thing, Scott. Everyone was saying it.
Yeah.
I think even Antonio's missus was probably saying it.
That's the thing. That's the life of football. 1 minute you're on top of the world. And,
We're fickle. Fans are fickle.
Yeah.
But good win. Happy days.
Yeah. I think obviously to end the show, obviously another World Cup winner sadly passed away.
Another great legend of the game. Great legend.
Yes. I hate waking up to news like that, especially when there's not many of the 66 World Cup team left now. And obviously England legend, obviously an Ireland legend as well. Manager took them to the Euros and the World Cup as well. So it's just a sad day for English football, really. Another legend gone.
Yeah, well, it's football in general, really. It's a day for anyone who appreciates football. So thoughts and condolences.
I didn't realise as well. It wasn't until I was watching Sky Sports News when they was talking about it. I didn't realise he spent his whole playing career at Leeds.
Yeah, he was a club man, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't realise. I knew he was at Leeds for a long time, but I didn't realise he was there his whole career. And obviously, he won the FA Cup with them, and they won the League Cup as well, didn't they? And
he won the league as well.
So it's just another. I've got a photo. I've got a picture on my wall up there of the 1966 team. Just see him there, like behind Nobby Stiles, and it's a shame.
It's Jeff. How many left of the 66 team? Jeff.
Jeff Hurst.
I think Nobby Stiles.
Nobby Stiles.
Wilson.
Roger Hunt.
Is Ray Wilson still alive?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, Bobby Charlton.
Roger Hunt's still alive.
There's 5.
I think there's only 5 left. I think six have gone now, ain't they? Banks, Moore, Peters, Alan Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Sad news. That's the only thing. Like, obviously, you're getting older. Legends start to pass away.
Last year, he said.
Huh?
Ray Wilson passed away last year.
Oh, did he? Yeah. So, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, rest in peace, Mr. Charlton. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. I know I look a little bit depressed, but it's been a fucking long day for me. I've started at 11:30.
Just give us a big Nicky smile. There it is.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. Don't forget to go and check out our Patreon and T-shirts in the link in the description down below. Follow us on social media.
How much are they?
What?
Remember, he had the big thing about how much the T-shirts were. Patreon?
I can't remember now.
£5, will it? Or say, what was it?
£5, wasn't it?
£3 if you want. Yeah, you get discounts for all their t-shirts and all that sort of stuff. Leave a thumbs up on this video, share it, like it. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button. It don't cost you anything, and you'll always get our videos into your inbox. But thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. Hopefully, we'll be a Premier League team come this time next week. We'll be mathematically safe, but we'll see. What have we left to say, boys?
Come on,
Fucking ice cream man again.